When Al Tawkalat looked at developing motorsport in the kingdom, there was a lack for grassroots development, especially in the single-seater ladder. And Formula 4 made complete sense, both to provide opportunities to Saudis on track and off track. We have a Formula 1 race in the kingdom, Formula 2 race, an F1 Academy race. And to get talent up the ladder of opportunity, we have to start with Formula 4, and that's why a championship made sense.
Adding this series in Saudi Arabia, starting Formula 4 is a big thing. Actually, this is a future for the motorsport, especially for the young generation. We do karting racing and we have a lot of people doing this racing, but what is next? This is actually the series which opens the doors for the young generation and especially Saudi community to enter the single-seater motorsport or single-seater racing.
First and foremost, this is a sport. It's competitive, it's aggressive. You always have to be at the top of your game. So on track, drivers are persevering. They're really pushing to the max, and that starts off track before in their preparations. Off track and with the team of mechanics, engineers, and everyone behind the scenes, whether it's in logistics, sponsorship, or all other teams, really need to make sure that everything's in place. Safety is key when it comes to motorsport. It is a dangerous sport. And so really there, we just value excellence and making sure we're always on top of the details, we're always taking care of our equipment, taking care of our team, and ultimately, once you take care of the team, equipment, and drivers, you're going to have a great race.
Following the rules and regulation with a strict, let's say, discipline like a single-seater, it's not an easy task. Actually, this is coming from Formula 1, as we already officiating in Formula 1, but now doing this in a local scale, following all the certification from FIA, it builds how important this series here in Saudi Arabia and how can we implement these rules and how can people understand this to grow with the motorsport.
I think generally the beautiful thing about racing is we always have a target date. So it's not one continuous job. Everyone has a calendar that we go to, we have a season. And so it just pushes you to keep going because you know that on this date we're going to race. And after that, you have time to rest and recover and prepare for the next one. So it begins months in advance. First of all, planning with all the teams across sporting, across racing, making sure we have all the offices, the garages, and all the other elements needed across broadcast, marketing, camera crews, really end-to-end, what is required to keep 100 people at the track, fed, safe, and in the country that we're racing in. So there are so many teams working together. We face challenges all the time. Some of them can be logistical, others can be like in Jeddah with the weather. The main thing is being prepared, having a plan B, C, D, and making sure that everyone's ready to execute on that. So whether it's rain, logistics, whether other technical issues can come across, we just always have to be prepared for every possible outcome.
Honestly, getting assigned as a race director for Formula 4 is a big honor for me, and it's my pleasure because working in motorsport in many different disciplines like rallies, circuit racing, and getting this position is honestly an honor for me. As a team in race control, we have one goal always, is to make this race or to make this event as safe as possible for the officials and for the drivers. We always want them to enjoy the race. We want them to have a fair racing with as much safe as possible.
The safety in general in motorsport is very important. We need to take anything that happens in the track, even small collisions, small touches that happens in the track. We need to report it as soon as we get it to save the safety of the track. If there is any major incident, we can act, depends on the exact time.
The most difficult part of my role is that the track marshals are a huge population, so there are more than 100 marshals on track. So I must make sure that all of them are in the right position and that no one is missing and that they are all well trained and understand their tasks.
After a day of racing, you'll go straight on to the next one. So it's one of those sports where you don't really have much time to think what's next, you just keep going. So when we leave here, as you well know, around 2, 3 in the morning, go home, get some rest, and then it's all about coming and doing it again the next day at the same standard. So we look to improve every event. We look to see how we can improve the journey for the guests, how they can have a better time in our fan zone. And at the same time, we look at the drivers and their experience, and ultimately then the team.
Successful race weekend for me is that all marshals on track are safe and that all the drivers are safe and that they have followed every possible procedure and made all the right calls to the race control.
We are very proud of the people coming and joining this motorsport in terms of officials or drivers, and seeing them here joining this and enjoying even working as an official or racing as a driver. This makes us very proud in Saudi Arabia.
Whatever your role is in the team, you feel proud, you see them coming, you see laughter, and ultimately you see great racing. And we've been lucky this season. We've really had a great grid. The drivers have fought hard and fast. We've had some great battles on track. And I think ultimately, whatever role you play, you can be proud to see that racing on track, because every single function matters, and there's a lot of interdependence between very different roles.